Okay, we're going to enter a truckload of trouble, apparently here. So this one's interesting. We've essentially got to get two parts of a crane that are on the two parts of a truck that are on the water. We're using the crane. I think this is the first time I've seen this crane in this game, so it's pretty interesting. But I'll show you how we get those up to there, and then we got to get the tyres, which are like super easy. And essentially, we're going to drag them all the way back. We'll do a bit of clearing on the way. You'll want to use a liberal bit of quick saving on this one, especially with the boats, because yeah, it's just what it is. Things could go a little bit weird with it, but we'll do a bit of clearing up as we go through. We've got a spare vehicle here which we can use. Don't recommend taking it at this point. I'll show you what I mean. So we got another one of these what they call like digger things, but we don't want to use it just because we might need it later on. Now you've got to get rid of this truck. You can blow it up with a bunch of things, but I found that sticking a little bit of nitroglycerin underneath will help it to get out of the way. Once you've blown it up, you should be able to weirdly just lift the chassis and just chuck it out of the way. So it's worth just putting in a little bit of... Weirdly enough, even though everything's covered in snow, that will burn down one of the buildings nearby, so worth considering. Right, so we're just going to take off some of these edges here. Might even bang some bombs down. Yeah, we'll stick some bombs down. How'd I miss this? Fairly honest, probably better just moving them out of the way by hand, but oh well, I made my bed now. Let's just get this out of the way. It's just less stuff to hang on to. It shouldn't really be a problem. I should have just physically moved these out of the way. That was a mistake. Oh no, that's not a bad result. Yeah, you can just literally do that. Okay, you could take down telegraph wires and so on if you want to. It's not really necessary, but whatever. So we've got a few more boxes to clear here just to make things easier. We've got another one of the scoop trucks that we can use. There is a name for that, it's not in my head right now. So we've got another large vehicle there, so it's forklift that we can use. We are going to want to... oh no, we don't actually need to lift this bridge up. I did that differently last time. Okay, so we're going to want to just clear this out. You can always do this on the way back through. I think it just makes more sense to start things tidy. Oh yeah. That was a little bit closer than we wanted. It's just gets them out of the way. Mindful of the boat over there, you don't want to damage any of that because it does get a little bit hairy towards the end. Some of these snow drifts, liberally remove them. And we'll just get rid of this bit. In fact, we don't need to get rid of that bit, we have to lower the bridge afterwards. So we'll come back to that one. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to take this boat and we're going to pull, which is one of the engine parts, all the way up to the crane so we can get it out. It is a little irritating because while you're driving through, you've got to hit those. You can pre-get rid of them, but it's not really necessary, it just slows you down. So you're going to jump in, and I would recommend here we stick a quick save on just for when the inevitable happens. We're going to tug it all the way up. We can worry about lowering that bridge afterwards, it's not important to do that right now. And you can see the crane in the distance now. Start taking it over to the left, it's ideal. Probably could have been doing that a bit earlier actually. Right, we're going to get to here. and then we are going to remove the... I only played this game for like 200 hours. Why would I remember which one controls which? Alright, so we're going to free the boat thingy, tugboat, and we're going to push. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get it close enough. Be careful you don't do too much damage to that, because a little bit of wood can just mean that it'll just flip off. I have to do a 700 point turn. I should have turned around earlier. Yeah, don't do what I'm doing now. Turn it around before. I kind of got a bit distracted. Okay, so we should have enough vehicle condition just to get this over, but it's certainly not going to be the tidiest route. So don't smack into it too hard, because you can sometimes mount it too much. You can usually get this in one go pretty well, but I think because of my boat condition, it's making this a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, is that going to stay afloat? I see what I mean. When you damage it to a certain point, it'll start to fall off. If it isn't flush, you will have to leave it attached to the wood. So it has to stay attached to it in this case. Just means you damage the building next to it. First time I did this, I actually shot these support legs off the vehicle. So I thought I thought that they weren't. I thought it was attached to the ground. There's nothing I could do about it. Right, so we're gonna get the support legs down, and you actually have to get out and jump into the one on the back. Unfortunately, that house is going to have to go bye-byes. Let's extend it forward. I'm going to lift it as high as we can. You can see how I had to leave it attached. It is the safest way of doing it. I think I wasn't going to, but I think I am going to just take that off, lest I ruin the crane. Now the vehicle part, as far as I'm aware, is indestructible. I haven't managed to break it, so no big deal with that. And then we're going to gently put this down in a way. I'm going to press the wrong button after we've done it. Now I haven't tried to do this without moving the crane, without moving that. Last time I moved it. I'm just going to see whether or not we can. Oh yeah, we can. Come on. Right, so last time I actually bothered to move this along. I don't think I needed to do it based on that. So make sure you attach it before you free it, just in case we have any disasters. Now, I've just thought about this as I've done it. So, is this one drivable? No. I'm going to try and place that on top of it, because I dragged it back last time. Anyway, we freed it up here. We got these both in place. I'm going to give this a little go and see if I can get them in there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just going to try and stack them on top. Last time I literally dragged these both back separately. Just wondered if we could mount it on top. Right, it might be a complete waste of time this, but I'm just gonna... So, just to put this in perspective, last time I literally dragged, well the first time I did it, I literally dragged these and the other part, the tyres, all the way across on their own. Yeah, it took a while. but it was pretty easy, to be honest. Didn't see any reason to do this, but the way they've gone down, I'm gonna just try and secure this onto here, and might make it a little bit less of a pain. Anyway, there we go. So I'm just going to free this now. And okay, we're kind of on our way. I'm just going to move these out of the way because I'm probably going to need to ride around that side now. Okay, so we've got our trucks layered up. That's not going to last. It's going to become a mess. But whatever, we're just going to drag them along. So the next bit we want to do is we want to go and get the bridge and everything in place. So I'm just going to quickly save it in case I have to restore this. I'm going to do some destruction on the way, just because I want to. This though I am going to get rid of, just because it means we don't have to worry about the corner so much. You can stay up in the tree then. So our bridge has had a bit of a disaster, and just to quickly deal with this. I'm sure there was a button on it before, but it doesn't appear to be now. It's simply attached to these. Okay, I don't think I've used the gun that much in a while. Right, okay, so these ones are the tyres, and I just basically started cabling them. I definitely could reach before. Should I drag them a bit? So I don't really need to worry too much about these sinking because they are tyres, whereas the other components will sink. I'm just going to drag them free until we get over to the other bits, and then we'll decide how we package this up. Because ultimately you're going to clip a wall and everything's going to go wrong anyway, so just get your stuff over there. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be too tall for the bridge. My really clever idea won't actually work because of the height of it. I just gave that a go, and it's not worth taking the whole top of the bridge down. So just going to have to make this a touch lower with the crane. Good idea, not to be, unfortunately. Still attached somewhere, isn't it? There you go. So we can attach this one up now. I'll put some ropes on that one as well. I don't think I can move that. I think that's too heavy for me. But an elastic band shouldn't be a problem. Figure that one out. So cables have got pretty high resistance to snap in, but obviously they've got the extra distance that we don't really necessarily want. I'll attach these onto here, and then I'm just going to attach those up. It can be a bit annoying driving this back, is all I'm going to say. We'll get going. They're really not any better having them on top of each other, actually. There's no benefit of doing that. Okay, a little bit of maintenance here. We have a small bit of mounting that I seem to be able to lift, but I can't push something on wheels, so figure that one out. Off you go. Hello, the bridge down. Ooh, he didn't fancy it, did he? Got everything with us. Look at that. Textbook. Good camera angle, this. Just got to be careful they don't go off the bridge. Sometimes it's worth taking... Ooh, brain forgot how to do reverse. It's worth taking the edge out, but not with too much of a problem there. just going to go a little bit into that building just to give me a bit more of an angle to take it round, so we don't end up in a frustrating situation where it falls off the side of the level. I'm just going to check I've got everything with me. Yep, all still there. This bit will become slightly more irritating because for some reason the snow acts like a rock in terms of physics. So they grab on it and clip on it. If you want, you can blow the buildings up and go straight through there, but I can't see that being can't see there being much use to doing that. I was going to say we're going to take this nice and wide, but that was more than I hoped to do. Again, we could take the wall out and go straight through there. Fine, by the time you've done all the clear up, it's not really worth it. Hopefully not lost any cables. At this point, if you want a free one and then just take the other ones through, then you can always do that. There we go. Debatable how much faster it would be at this point, but it's feasible. Foiled by a cardboard box. Unreal. Come on, let's go. What are we waiting for here? What are we actually stuck on so ridiculously? I mean, the physics are amazing in this game, but I'm not sure how a lamppost is the strongest object. And that one is. So I did mention that at the start, didn't I? You can take away all of the poles if you want to, but there's no point probably. It just seems a bit ridiculous. Anyway, there we go. Not too bad. Took a little bit of time to plan the route and so on, but not so hard once you know that you can attach them up and where that crane is. Now this other crane, I don't even think I've even clocked that yet. Oh, it's at the back of there. Not sure why you'd want that, but there you go. Alright, hopefully that helps.